Forward TV. The world is thinking.
One last question, then I'll open up to everybody. Do you want to talk a little bit about love scenes?
Hard to do.
Hard to do.
Sex scenes are even harder because there's nothing to play. You need. I mean, I've directed some sex scenes, and I always think there has to be an obstacle. You know what I mean? Sure. So usually the scenes that I've directed in my movies, the woman is never satisfied. And I think this is, in these films, I get sick of these guys that do the whole thing and everyone always somehow together at the same time. You know. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. And so, I mean, I don't buy it. And it doesn't make a good scene.
It doesn't make a good scene.
It doesn't make a good scene.
Right.
And so I've had various scenes, like in public sex, this and that. The last scene I did in the last movie with Kate Winslet, you know, basically with Gandolfini, I was like, you know, your job in the scene is like he has to run out of steam, but you have to like demolish him. Right. You know what I mean? Like that, and you just keep going because you have to keep yourself going by that time, which people do all the time. Sure. And if they have to finish themselves, they do. But it was all about acting because we didn't see everything. Right. So we actually couldn't do. She was killing him. She was sitting on him and turning, and she said, "Well, I'm going to run out of dialogue." I said, "Well, listen, then it's all up to you now. Just keep going, just keep going." And you know, Kate was breastfeeding at the time, and she was like, "Well, you know, Joan, do you think I should pump before we do this sex scene because I could leak?" You know. And I was looking at it, you know, I was looking at her tits, so you know, I was like, I said, "You know what? I think if you could wait 5 minutes." So the great thing about Kate was she had sprained her ankle. Right. So we said, "Kate, if you sit on James, you're going to be inhibited because you're going to be hurting him. So let's put Kate on one of these little a little ball, a little exercise ball, because we were shooting. We're not going to. I didn't want to shoot where you see too much and then you get embarrassed. Right. I wanted Kate to do it all." Right. You know, and so, well, I could use that. I said, "Yeah, you can do that stuff too." So she sat there. I had two guys, the prop guys, kind of hold her so she wouldn't fall off. And I realized that they may start laughing. I said, "Well, listen, put, you know, like something in your mouth." I said, "Because I don't want you laughing." Right. You know what I mean? You know, and you just hold Kate, you know, and she's there, and she's on the bouncy ball. And we had to do this big crane shot, like you see her come, goes over from a painting, and then she pops her head up, and she's like, "Oh," and she's doing all this stuff, you know, but she's on a ball. Right, right. So I figured, I said, get everyone the fuck out, you know, right. You know, I said, "What do you need?" You know, she said, "You want some wine? You want me to get some pizza? Whatever you need." Right. I said, "You know, you can make a party scene out of it, you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. You just, you know, okay, let me have a shot of scotch." I said, "Okay, fine." So we did it, you know, and it was just, you know, I just let the camera roll because she was really going in. But then she slipped off at the end of it, you know, and Kate has a big bum to begin with, and she actually sat on the prop, my friend's face. She was smothered in face. So to me, that was a reason to make a movie. Right there. I was like, you know, this is life, man. You know what I mean? It was good. So, but I'll tell you one sex scene. I did this movie with Emily Watson, who's a wonderful actress. We're friends. We had done a movie together, and we had to do a scene what was called Illusion Defense, based on a Nabokov novel. And the guy is a virgin in the book, and the director, she liked ladies more than men. So she was very nice, but she used to yell action. Right. Like, "Action!" And so you had to recover for like 10 seconds. Right. You're like, "Oh, shit." Right. Yeah. So Emily knew she wanted her topless. So I said, "Listen, Emily, I want to get my shorts, whatever." And so we had to do all these scenes because it was going to be all day long. I said, "Listen, can we just have a glass of wine and put some music on because there's no dialogue?" And she goes, "No, I want to hear the sounds." I said, "You could hear the sounds later." I said, "This way you just keep us in the mood, you know." And Emily was topless, but she had dungarees on, being the nice English girl that she is. And so we're like kissing and doing all this stuff. And so the director comes over to me and she says, "Listen, when you orgasm," you know? I said, "Yeah." You know, I'm like laying in bed, you know, cameras on top of me. Like it's like when you're getting an MRI. It's like that. I'm like, "Uh-huh." I said, "Yeah." She goes, can you make it not, you know, don't go like, you know, I said, yeah, like, don't grimace and make it, you know, ugly like men do, basically. You know, I was like, you know, I was like, don't. And she was making these horrible faces. I don't think I do that. You know what I mean? so I don't. At least I don't see myself. Yes, I don't feel myself fucking someone. So I was like, we're making love. It wasn't even like a, you know, like a hard. You know, it was like a delicate scene. And I said, oh yeah. I said, you want me to be more like that, right? And she was like, I said, yes. I said, like a flower, kind of like, you know, when it opens up like that. She said, exactly. Exactly. Very like that. And then Emily goes, all she wants to do is look at my breasts. Emily was like nervous and stuff like that. So I'm doing the stuff with Emily, and I'm on top, and the camera's more on Emily. I was being really delicate with her. She's my friend. We know each other, you know, and I was trying to make her feel good, and she's supposed to be more experienced than me. So I'm thinking, like, how the fuck am I going to do this image that I threw to the girl? So Emily is rehearsing a little bit, and she was kissing me a little bit lightly. And I'm like a kind of person, if you just kiss me a little bit, I get goosebumps. You know what I mean? I'm cheap. You know what I mean? So, I'm cheap. So she kissed me around here, right? Like around my nipples. So I was like thinking, I said, oh shit, if she does that, I said, I don't have to act. You know what I mean? I don't have to act. I just like, you know, that's the thing, you know. All right? So wait. So, but I'm a little embarrassed, right? So Emily's like, you know, nibbling around there, and she's very, you know, English, and always making me tea. So I said, okay. So I said, Emily, do me a favor, because now the camera's on me now, because now you have to turn over. I said, could you do what you know, that was good. That helped me so much. So I'm like, you know, Emily, it's like, she wants to help me. She's one of these actors, you know, she's a good actor. She wants to help her partner, you know. We're both married. It's not like, you know, we're not. So then Emily, I guess, being, you know, conscientious, didn't really understand what I said to her. So she starts going, biting my neck. There's no fucking bullshit. So I'm like this. Now we're fucking biting. And she's going, I'm like, whole thing. She's killing me. This is a true story. Swear to God. Swear to God. Because my head. So she like almost tears my nipple off. Okay? This is supposed to be an acting scene. This is about acting, right? This is about communication. If I had the courage, I would have said, Emily, could you kiss my nipple lightly? But instead, I was trying to be polite, and I was a little embarrassed, and I was shy. So she almost tears it off. I said, I'd like one more take. I said, I'd like one more take. I said, Emily, I didn't want you to do that. I'm not into like SNL. I said, I don't like it. So Emily, she got beat red. She ran in the bathroom. She started crying. You know. So I'm like, Emily, come out, Emily. All I wanted you to do is to kiss my nipple. And she was like, Sean, I'm so sorry. I said, it's because we're tense because she keeps screaming action. And I said, you know, and she did it, and it was good. I don't know which take she used, but I had to do it like make believe that she wasn't ripping my nipple off. You know? Exactly. But it's basically the sex scenes are like that was a scene because I was supposed to be having my first orgasm. But a lot of times there's no obstacles, so all you're doing is choreography. And